Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Clady, and I'm here today to welcome you on a new week here at Adobe Live, learning new skills and new techniques in Adobe Illustrator. And I'm going to go ahead and refresh the chat real quick to make sure to say hello to everybody here joining. And remember, if you are watching from YouTube, head to behance.net/live or b.net/live in order to join the chat so I can say hi to you and see your messages. I can see Viola, Randall, Felix, Carla Radia, nice to see you. So good. Go and check Carla's out. We have done a stream together. I had a super pleasure and honor to host her, and go and check that workout. She's amazing. Hi Val, nice to see you. Sony, everybody commenting on my hair. You guys like it? That's a new summer style for a little bit, but as soon as it's gonna go under the rain, I'm gonna get curly again, I promise. Right. That is already saying, oops, I need to get the starter file. In fact, let's get going. I want to say, first of all, welcome to everybody who's never been here at the Daily Creative Challenge. If today is your first day, that's totally cool. Although we are at week 2, that's a perfect day to start. Ciao, Steve. Ciao, everybody. Nice to see you here. But let's get started and let me dive into the actual one of the most important part of our challenges, which is our lovely landing page. So make sure to head on behance.net/challenge/illustrator. This is the place where you can learn more about these wonderful challenges, but most importantly, you will be able to reveal what we're going to be working on. And in fact, if you scroll down into this magic landing page, you will see that we are at challenge number 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 newsletter. We're starting a new week. This challenge is going to run live until August the 6th, and then there's going to be an encore. So you have more time to sharpen your skills and learn new techniques with these fantastic apps. You can take your time, watch and chill, lay back, have a coffee, and spend this time with me and with the wonderful Adobe community, or you can get hands-on, open Illustrator, and most importantly, click on the Get Started file. As you know, the wonderful daily creative challenges are also a good place to get a lot of freebies. In fact, if you click on Get Started, you'll be able to access the newsletter. So I have actually created a full template for you to start it on with the core messages. We're going to see together how to use it. But again, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to head on b.net/live so I can see your message and say hi. Like to Salim, Bruno, Arshar, Michaela, George. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Monday. I don't even know that it's Monday. I've been working the entire weekend. I don't even know what day it is. But yeah, definitely happy Monday and happy morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you're watching from, which is actually a great information to give me. Let me know in the chat, where are you watching from? I'm super excited about our exciting community. So, we have Stefan from the UK. Fantastic. I'm impressed with Manchester. Let me know where you are in the UK. Something else that is very important to underline here is that, of course, you'll be able to watch the replay by clicking on watch video. But the most important thing is that by clicking on the community chat, you'll be able to enter our wonderful world of Discord. Discord is the place where you can submit your work. Of course, you can submit it also on Behance, but if you submit your work on Discord, you'll be able to have a review live, as you can see here. Let me go ahead into the right channel, which is here under feedback. I'm going to zoom in for you to see it. It's right above my head. And here you'll be able to just share your work. This is the background for the video conference that we've done last week. You can take your time and just sort of catch up. We've done social media templates, highlights icon for Instagram, and you can see all this. We've done postcards. We've already done so much work. It's unbelievable. And as you can see, we have all the mentor, Jack Watson, Randall, myself, Ryan, and the amazing Adobe Live team here joining the conversation. This is also a great place to introduce yourself, get to know more about the Adobe Live community, get to share your portfolio. This is a great place to hang out. So make sure to head on Discord, and if you haven't done it yet, this is another way to join. So you can just head on bit.ly bit.ly/AI. So this is a capital A and a capital I Discord, and that's how you'll be able to join your Discord. But I'm sure that the amazing Val, boom, here it is, dropping that link in the chat, ready for you to click on it and get ready to work. But now that we got all the housekeeping and hopefully everybody has downloaded the main for the main file for today, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what this challenge is about. Let me know if you guys have ever had the need to create a newsletter. If you have any problem with the newsletter, let me know. Val, you got my back. I know, I love it. It's always wonderful to stream with you. Hopefully we'll be able to do a stream together very soon. It's always a lot of fun. And by the way, we always say hi, but go and check out Val's work. Just click on profile and open her Behance and look at the wonderful, wonderful drawing that she does. Jennifer, nice to see you. Gansham, Claudia's accent is so adorable. Thank you. As long as it is understandable, and as you probably know, I make up a lot of words, but thankfully we can share the screen and get a little bit more of a clue what I'm talking about, because you can also see my screen. Also in the chat, another shout out before we get starting to work, Lisa Carney. Go and check out Lisa Carney. Is a friend and also an amazing professional finisher. Go, retoucher, go and look at her portfolio as well. She's been also a guest at Adobe Live. So many amazing people. I absolutely love this community. Safe place for everybody to learn and to connect. So big love to Adobe Live, and actually put a little heart, any color you want. Just place a heart in the chat if you love Adobe Live as much as I do. Right, but it's time to get started. So as you can see here, my file look a little bit more complex than yours in terms of layers. If you never worked with Illustrator before, that's totally fine. In order to access to the layers panel as much as any other panel inside Illustrator and Creative Cloud, you can go ahead and click on the window menu, and from here you'll be able to access any panel of your choice by simply clicking on it. And as you can see, the one who have a tick next to them are already active, so they should display inside your workspace. Another cool way to set up your workspace is to click on the workspace switcher, which is here on the top right of your option bar, and click on it and just select Essentials. And another thing you can do is also reset Essential. And if you do that, everybody workspace and interface for Illustrator should look the same. Anika, sorry, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. You totally missed what we're sending hearts. You send one anyway. We're sending love to Adobe Live. We just enjoy being here and being part of this community together. So thank you for the wonderful hearts, everybody. And that's the reason, Anika, why we're sharing the hearts. We're just sharing love. We're a loving community. But anyway, as I said, let's go ahead and check out the layers panel. And what I wanted to show you here, most importantly, is that you will have a layer called hide. Now, that's a really cool way to structure your layer, because that will allow you to have a layer that has a lot of information that you can share with your team, but you can also go ahead and hide it whenever you're done with work. So it's useful there as a guidance, but you can hide it, but most importantly, also lock it. In order to lock your layers, all you gotta do is to toggle the lock icon. By doing so, you'll be able to toggle the the editability of the layer. So if you see now, because it's locked, the pencil, so the edits are denied. I cannot edit this layer. If I go ahead and unlock it, I will be able to select any elements that is in there, like any graphic. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock it and show you real quick what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna show you how to place some images, and of course, we're going to go ahead and hide this layer to show you how to create a newsletter. Again, this is just a general format, although the reason why I decided to share this format with you is because it's very important to understand certain aspects of a newsletter, most importantly, the width. If we add to the properties panel, you will see that, and of course we select our artboard tool, or we can just press the Shift O shortcut in order to select it. We see that the width is 700 pixels. That's very important. Usually the width of a newsletter will be from 500 to 1,000 top, because that's the standard width in which the majority of your viewers will be viewing your newsletter, so that's extremely important. And another measurements you really want to keep your eyes on is this top area. So you know what the main information is. If we head back to our little core graphic here where I had all the structure done, where the core message, or CTA, which stands for, let me know in the chat if you know what CTA stands for. Let me know if you know. I'm sure a lot of people know here, but that's the place in which you place the most important information, because that's the first bit someone is going to see in their email before they scroll away. So if you got an important message to share, that's the place where you want to place it. Yes, we got the first one was Luis Madrigal. Luis, nice to see you. Call to action. Exactly. So a call to action is a place where we're going to create a button. Let's get going. In order to start working, I already create one layer called create. You can create as many layers as you want by clicking on the create new layer here, located at the very bottom of the interface in Illustrator. It looks like a square with a plus. If you click on it, you'll be able to create a new layer. And by double clicking on it, you can name it as you wish. So I'm going to call this layer button, and we're going to go ahead and use this layer and then press on the M key or on your keyboard, or simply select the rectangle tool in order to access the rectangle tool, which is also here located on the toolbar, and simply click and drag inside your canvas to start to create a rectangle. This is going to be the background for our button. If you want to keep things modern, we can just use this corner widget here and click and drag in order to make our button with rounded corners. Completely up to you. Drag it out if you want to keep it square, and drag it in if you want to keep it rounded. If you do have a specific way, and I'm going to jump on the other side of the screen here. Boop. If you have a specific direction from the client, or from a brief, or from a branding guideline, you can double click on this corner widget in order to open the transform options, which which will have the opportunity here to manually set, for example, a 30 pixel a 30 point or a 30 pixel corner. So that's completely up to you. You can let's put a 25. As you will see, it will change automatically to all 4 corners because all corners are selected. Again, you don't necessarily have to worry about the exact measurement unless there is a brand guidelines, and that will honor the consistency of what the branding is using, maybe on their website or on previous newsletters. So there are standard details like that that are part of what a brand is, and that will allow you to create consistency. But let's get moving. So here in the call to action, we say that's where we start with our button, and then all we have to do is simply press on the T on the type tool, so which is the T icon located on the toolbar, in order to create some text. Click and drag to create an area type. And as you can see, there is a little plus here. So it looks like that perhaps the text is a little bit too big for the actual text box. If we make the text smaller, the plus goes away. That means that the height that it was set here under the character options was too tall. And I'm going to do that again just for you to show you, because that might happen. So I think it was something like 40. Can you see this little icon that basically say, hey, the text box, the text area is too small? What you can do is to click and drag in order to make it bigger, and that goes away. Or you can just change the size of your text. And here I'm going to go ahead and actually select a text. This one here is called Objective. You can find it on font.adobe.com, and it will allow you to create a button, which I'm not sure that that's the right font. What I was looking for, something that is a little bit more readable and clean. Let's see if we find it. I think it's called Objective. Here it is. So again, for buttons, I will definitely use something that is very simple and easy to read. And remember, for accessibility reasons, I will always tend to use a font, and that's just a web etiquette for accessibility of a minimum of a 16 points. So here I'm keeping it at 25, super safe. Now to transform this area type into a point type, simply double click on the little handle which sits at the side of the text box to transform the area type into a point type. Now when you click and drag, you got to watch out because it's not going to change the size of the box, but it's actually going to change the size of the text. So make sure to hold shift to resize it proportionally, and then simply drag it inside your button area over here. And if you want to also change it and distort it proportionally from the center, you can use the shift and the option key together. There will be shift and alt if you're working on a Windows machine. Right. So something else that is very important that I want to show you here is how to create image background. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the rectangle tool again and click and drag on this area, which we did kind of use for our image. And then we're going to bring in an image from our gallery. Let's see if I keep my file organized enough. Inside my desktop, I should have our second week and our restaurant photo. By the way, I grabbed these photos for free, and I want to give it a shout out. I'm a big fan of giving people credits. Hopefully I have the Instagram ready to Black Bean. So go and check him out. They're wonderful photos. Those were available for free, so I just used them, but I think it's nice to give credit since they're very beautiful photos. So all you have to do here is to select your image, whichever you want. I'm probably going to go with this lovely cheese board. It's almost time for dinner here, so I'm definitely getting hungry. And then drag it inside Illustrator. As you can see, the image is huge. You can simply click and drag one of the corner of the bounding box of the image while holding shift in order to resize it proportionally. And then we're going to drag it here roughly where our rectangle was. Then use the shortcut command shift left bracket. There will be control shift left bracket if you're working on a Windows. So we have the image behind the shape. Now click on the shape to select it, hold the shift key and click on the rectangle so they are both selected, and then press the command 7. There will be control 7 on a Windows in order to create a mask. And here it is. We basically fitted the image inside the box. And if you want, we can use the command or control shift left bracket again to make sure that that also sits under our button. Now I'm going fast because we have very little time in order to keep working here. But if I was, working on a newsletter in a little bit more time, I will definitely use a layer for the image, a layer for the button, just to keep things organized. So I'm going to see if there is any question that I am missing here in the chat. Oops. I think everybody is having more info about the DCC. Fantastic. Val is taking care of all the info. Fantastic. So once we are creating our image and we have our button, it's time now to add our text. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of steal the text that I've created already. But remember, what I've done is to always toggle back between that area, because I really want to make sure that I use that safe area there on top. And then select the right layer, or as I said, you can create a new one, and that can be the first CTA call to action. And all we have to do here is to start to have, oops. As you can see, the order of the layer stack matters because we do have now the rectangle, and the image inside is going to go actually above the little information, and we don't want that. So we're going to simply drag it below. So again, the order of the layer stack matters. Everything that sits on top of the layer stack will display above. So this is the first way I wanted to work with you on this main top area. I look forward to see what you guys do for the rest of the areas. As I said, I gave you already suggestions in terms of what you use. I've created a preview which we can look at together. Let's see if I actually can get back to it. Here it is. Just to give you an idea on how to structure this information. This header is usually a good place where to put your logo, maybe your social media, and here at the very bottom where the footer is, and I'm going to go ahead and hide this information so you can see. It's nice to put perhaps the address, or if you have, any sort of phone number or email address for question, that's a great place where you can get all this important information. The second place, that's I want to show you what it actually is, and I'm going to click and drag this high to the very top, so that will be perhaps a little bit faster. As you can see here, we have a CTA, which doesn't, a call to action, which doesn't necessarily need to be a button like we created before. It can just simply be text. So all we need is what we've done already during the challenge: images, shapes, and text. And of course, creating a mask with the images, and we'll be able to achieve these results very quickly. Another information that I wanted to give you is to regarding the length. It doesn't really matter how long you create your newsletter, but it is important to perhaps, if you create long newsletter, to repeat and sort of have this call to action come in 1 or 2, 3 times, because people maybe not be convinced at the very first image, then they learn more, and you give them more opportunity to be able to click and access your services or your website. This area is also very important. There's a place where you can offer membership, which I clearly misspelled, but it's an offer of membership used for retention of your clients. But now that we have created our newsletter, or at least we know the biggest and main tools, I want to show you another feature here. If you go under View and then select Trim View, everything that sits outside our pasteboard and is not going to be visible in the newsletter, but we have used for our creation, is going to be hidden. So we actually have an idea of what the newsletter is going to look like. And you can use Command or Control minus to zoom out, so you can have a clear idea of what the entire newsletter is going to look like. Now, if you're looking to use this new newsletter and layout for Behance, we know that the width has to be 1400 pixels. So what I will do here is to click on the artboard tool and go ahead and create another artboard that can contain my newsletter. Select Return and make sure that that will be 1400 pixel. Just like so. I think that that's a great way in general to display, perhaps maybe centering it as well. It will be also very nice. Again, that's the minimum that we want to use for Behance, and that will allow us to create a content that we can export. If we're using this for Behance, you also want to perhaps clean it up, as we're not relying on the main artboard. And I want to show you real quick how to export it, because I know time is ticking and we have just 1 minute before we go. So in order to export it, we're going to use our magic shortcut option, Command E. This is going to bring us the export for screen. You can select which artboard. So in this case, I'm going to select both of them to show you the difference, and then head into a destination folder on my desktop. Click on Choose, and we're going to create a subfolder and click on Export. I'm going to color Newsletter. I'm going to get cut up here probably today, and I'm going to click on Export Artboard. So as you can see, if we head to our desktop, hopefully we'll be able to access our newsletter. Here it is. So this is the newsletter itself, and this is the image to share on the Behance. But also don't forget to share on Discord, and that's why I exported both. Head to the challenge and then click on plus, upload your file and get to the folder and select your newsletter. This is challenge number 5. And click on upload. And here it is. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. I look forward to see your work, and don't forget to stay tuned for more fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.